I was planning on making a music related video today, but I'm ill, so no. Good morning, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and this video is going to be me talking a little bit about the worst thing about vinyl. So as I'm sure some of you know, I listen to and collect a lot of music, and my medium of choice for consuming that type of media has for the past 5 years been that of the LP record, or vinyl as it's more commonly known. I'll put a link there to my record collection video if anyone is interested in watching it. Vinyl is a fucking awesome way of listening to music, and I'd highly recommend anyone who's passionate about music and about supporting artists as well to start collecting them and start buying your music in that format. Now there are a multitude of reasons why I like listening to music on vinyl, and I honestly cannot be bothered to talk about them right now. But anyway, this video is not about positives. We all know how much I hate positivity, don't we? This video is going to be about what is literally the worst thing that can happen when you get a brand new record from either Amazon or from a shop. And no, it's not the cost, it's not the inconvenience, it's not even the spiraling, crippling, depressing realization that you have when you love audio and LPs so much that you know that you will never be satisfied with the audio quality, because no hi-fi system, turntable or stylus will ever be good enough. At least not one that you can afford. By the way, lack of money is not an excuse to buy a Crosley record player. No, it's not any of that. The worst thing about buying LP records are these little things here. Or rather the lack of them. Don't you just love it when you spend more than double what you would on a CD, and more than triple what you would for an artist's album on iTunes, and you don't even get a fucking download code? Seriously, we're not all pretentious self-serving hipsters. Just because we like to listen to music on records does not mean that we don't also enjoy listening to it from our phones or computers or a Bluetooth shower speaker. Seriously, I've got one of those and it is incredible. Like, what do these people want me to do? Just carry my record player around with me at all times? It's like, hey man, I found this awesome album that I think you would absolutely love. Cool, let's hear some. No, I can't, man, I'm sorry. After I spent £35 on it, I realised that it didn't include an album download code, so if you want to hear it, we're going to have to get in my car and drive 15 miles back to my house. Great. Obviously, communal listening is one of the things that I love most about vinyl, but for fuck's sake, sometimes I just want to play that music through my headphones while I'm walking to work on a rainy Tuesday morning. Now, I have been thinking about this quite a lot recently, and I honestly can't decide which one is worse. A major record label not including album downloads in their vinyl releases, or a smaller independent one. I suppose it could be argued that smaller and independent record labels need to pull in more revenue to keep themselves going in a way that major record labels don't, and therefore they don't include download codes so that they can try and maximize their profits to just keep themselves afloat. But surely those are the companies that would value their listeners and their customers more and would actively want them to get the most that they could out of their record purchase. And on the other side of that, I feel like major record labels that are bringing in millions and sometimes even billions of pounds worth of revenue each year, they could easily just chuck a free download card in there. But then again, maybe the major record labels would be the ones to be most inclined to be really, really greedy and really try and squeeze every ounce of money that they can out of everyone. It's all about maximizing profits. But quite frankly, whatever the reason is, I genuinely think it's unacceptable. How would you feel if you paid money to get a ticket to see your favourite artist play live, and when you got to the venue, you walked in and they were like, yeah, the gig's just through there, but if you want to have lights as well as the music, then you're going to have to join the back of that queue over there, and it'll be another 50 quid. That would be fucked up. That was a pretty appalling analogy, I'm really sorry. Honestly, this stuff really annoys me, and I'm not going to be forgiving either. Here are 3 different artists that did not include any form of digital download in their vinyl release. I will include in this the price I paid for the record and the price it would have cost me were I to have just downloaded it from iTunes. Okay, number 1, Justin Bieber, Purpose. What the fuck is that about? Not only did this not have a download in it, but it was half fucking Kendrick Lamar. Seriously, that's actually true. I made a video about it there. But yeah, no big deal. It's just one of the most successful and best-selling recording artists in the world right now, not including a free download for an album that I paid $22.99 for. Could have just had it for $4.99 on iTunes, but no, I decided not to, because I assumed that there'd be a download code in that album. But to be fair, I did also assume that it wouldn't be half gangster rap. Artist number 2, Angels and Airwaves, Love Albums Parts 1 and 2. I think I paid about 50 quid for this, and I looked it up on Amazon earlier, and it's currently retailing at £69.35, but it's sold out. There are no new copies of this that you can get conventionally. I think I saw a used one being sold on the Amazon Marketplace for something like £390. But no download code. Costs $11.99 on iTunes. And finally, my super limited edition 180 gram double LP 45 RPM remastered from the original analog tapes version of the score from Dances with Wolves by John Barry. I spent 80 quid on this. You can still get 1 or 2 copies of this from Amazon for £98.64. 100 quid for this. Do you get an album download? No. How much does it cost on iTunes? $5.99. Also, just to clarify, I realised that made it sound like I was saying that you might as well just buy it on iTunes, which is not at all what I'm saying. I know about all of the advantages that you get with a record, okay, and I love it. I love buying records. All I'm saying is that considering the price that we pay for our records, it seems harsh that they don't include a little album download code when you've spent so much more than you would have done were you to have just bought it off iTunes, a process that doesn't even benefit the artist. A lot of the reason why I always try and buy an artist's record is because I feel like I'm actually legitimately supporting them in a really, really tangible way. And from a monetary perspective, if I go onto an artist's website and I pay £20 for their record, I know that they're going to get a significantly larger amount of that £20 that I've paid than they would do if I were to pay it on iTunes. It's just a nicer thing to do to support the artists that you love. And I just wish that that was reciprocated in the form of f***ing download codes. I've certainly been in situations where I have saved up money specifically to get a new record at over triple the price of an iTunes download. And I get the album, tell my friends about how excited I am to listen to it, make Instagram posts about it, invite people over just to hear the music, and then they will go off and buy the record themselves. And yet I'm still expected to go online and pay £8 so I can download the iTunes version for digital consumption, when I know how little money artists actually get for their iTunes sales, which is one of the main reasons why I got the LP in the first place. Bloody outrageous. Out bloody rageous. Get your bloody act together. Give me free downloads. Also, just so you all know, I'm well aware that in most cases it will not be the artists themselves that have chosen to not include a download code. I mean, come on, how many artists these days actually own the mechanical and distribution rights to their own work? Anyway, I don't want this to all be negative. Here are a couple of artists that I was pleasantly surprised did include digital download cards with their vinyl releases. Paul Thomas Saunders, one of my favourite artists. Amazing album, this, Beautiful Desolation. If you haven't heard it, please check it out. I did a cover of Lunar Veterans Guide to Re-Entry, which you can find there. Hammock, Everything and Nothing, incredible album. They included a download code. Kissaway Trail. Now this is awesome. Not only did they include a digital download card in their vinyl release, but there was also a fucking CD in there as well. Absolutely outstanding. Anyway, that's everything. I'm sorry about the ranty nature of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any input on this, or if you think that you know why some do and some don't, or if you want to argue with anything that I've said, let me know down in the comments. I always like to open up a discussion about these sort of things and hear other people's points of view. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you very soon.